Alright guys, so last video I spent most of the time on fiddling with that gun, so I apologize not giving you guys better footage. I got it figured out how to use that gun proper to work and all that stuff, but like I said, I went ahead and cut those off because I'm going to replace them all anyway. I just spot painted for now. I got both sides of the rails painted. What I did do is yesterday I soaked a lot of the spots that has thick grease on with oven cleaner. I went ahead on YouTube and watched a couple channels on the fastest, easiest, cheapest way, and I tell you what, it worked pretty good. Like right here, there's still some left, and that's lined up where the yolks are. You guys know that grease, whatever's left over, just flies everywhere. Thinking about making a shield somehow, maybe in the future, but knowing me, I'll probably just say screw it. Got a lot of the grease off here that was caked up. Focus. This guy was pretty caked up. Got it off there, and I let that degreaser set all night. And it was caked on here pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and put another layer of degreaser on there. And I'm trying to get it as clean as possible. Because I'm going to go ahead, and these brakes here, technically they're all right, but with them been sitting, the date on them was 2017. These seals are bad, so I'm going to get probably all new 4 seals. I don't know yet. I haven't taken the front ones off yet. I got to take the tires off the other side still. And I do want to get this 5th wheel completely off so I can flip it upside down, degrease the whole thing, clean it up, check everything, make sure it's all safe and legal and everything. This pad, also 2017, it's good, but it got so much grease on it, oil, because this seal is bad as well. So I think this is going to be better to start fresh. Like I said, I still never got to them airbags. I started on it and I got sidetracked, so I got all 4 new airbags. I'm going to put all, well no, I keep saying that, but the front ones are still good. I'm going to put the 2 rears on there, and there's some more grease. Like I said, pretty thick. So I'm going to spray that one more time. This guy here, I'm just kind of let it go for now. I got the stuff I need, but I might go ahead and I'm still debating on if I'm going to go get the other torque arms. Like I said in my last video, and I do apologize for it being horrible. I'm getting better at knowing what to put on there and doing what I say I'm going to do, because I just watched it. It took me 24 hours, no lie, 24 hours for my last video of the 1-inch Milwaukee. 24 hours to upload on my computer, so I'm doing something wrong. So I'm gonna go on and spray it with some more oven cleaner. All right, so we're to the point to where we got the 5th wheel completely off. It's gonna be nice to get underneath the belly of it, get it all cleaned, prepped for paint. Got one airbag off. Working on this guy here. I'm going to go ahead and replace everything that I have. Parts are still good. I'll put it aside and have them for spare. But I want this thing to look new whenever they go and inspect it. I want them to see that I took the time to make things right. The garages like seeing that. They like seeing new shiny stuff, new parts. And especially if you live in PA. If you got a guy, you're lucky. If you don't live around here, then you're not lucky, because it can be strict. Work on this guy here. The thing that concerns me is this space. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a space in between here. Just like the 5th wheel, there's rust. It's expanding. It brought it this close, so I'm going to take this off, clean all that out, seal it up, put it back together. So coming along, I went ahead and put 1 coat on the frame rails. I got a lot more grease off. The thick stuff, I went ahead and soaked it with diesel. I'm going to go ahead and scrape it off, hit it with degreaser, pressure wash it, and whatever's on there is on there, boys. It's getting painted over. But the main stuff, like around the bolts, around the important stuff like the diffs, is clean, ready for paint. And the stuff where the grease is thick is probably where there's going to be thick grease again. So it ain't going to rust. It ain't rusty now. It ain't going to rust. So the important components that's going to need sealed are pretty much ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and continue taking off the airbags. I'm going to go ahead and take this torque rod back off. I'm going to take that one off, clean some more, take the shocks off, and I'm going to start doing the first coat of paint. I'm going to do 2 coats of paint total, and I want to go ahead and do 3. And I'm going to do 3 on the 5th wheel bottom, and between the 5th wheel I'm going to put this material here. Stepdad got it from Console. He worked at coal company for a lot of years, and it's a rubber-like material, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in between the metals. I don't have enough, I have to get more, but that's what I'm going to use. Keep them metals from rubbing together. That would make it last longer. Alright guys, let me get at it. So one thing I noticed is the brake pads are still in DOT standard terms passable. They're still good. This is going to need a new wheel seal. I got these bags off. Got the front bag off. I'm going to take the other one off here in a minute. I had to get these set of wheels off finally. These ones look good, but the seal's bad as well. So I can either replace them anyway, or I can get some parts cleaner and clean these pads off real good, and it will still be just as safe. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm trying to spend money on the things that I need. But if there's parts where I can still use, I am, but I don't want to reuse parts and try to get away with anything. I want to make sure I got parts that are good, because it don't matter if you got a brand new engine and transmission. If this truck frame, the rear end, anything on this frame or the truck isn't good, it's no sense of having a good engine and transmission. As long as you got a good truck, as long as all your seals, your bushings, your valves, your bearings, your airbags, all that stuff, as long as your shit's good, you got a good truck. Engine and training is half the value. So that's what I'm trying to make sure right now, is I'm trying to make sure the truck itself is sound and safe and sound, and then I'm going to be working on the drive line. So that's where I'm at now. Definitely going to replace both of these chambers. This one here has a broken spring in it, so obviously it's going to get replaced. This one here is okay. I'm going to replace it anyway, but I will put it aside for emergency in case I need one on the fly. Use it as a spare. These 2 airbags go on this rail here. I'm going to go ahead and put them aside. They're still good, but I am replacing them. The shocks, they're all good. I'm going to keep them aside for spares. I am going to replace them because I have them. And these torque arms, I got 2 new ones. The only difference, like I said in the last video, I think I published it, is thickness of this is the only thing different on the old style. So I'm going to make up the difference by using washers. I'm going to go ahead and continue on using these, and then whenever they go out, I will definitely get the correct part number, because these aren't the correct part number. I got them from a third party. 2 of them I got them for a good deal, so I will go ahead and use them. I will go ahead and make sure that they are the same length, because if not, that's what your alignment goes off by, how many washers they go in between, you know, the bolt and nut and all that stuff. Well, that's just one of the ways that they make sure the alignment's on. But so that's where I'm at right now. Like I said, I just went ahead and did one coat on where the fifth wheel was. This guy's laying right here. I'm gonna deal with this here sometime in the near future, probably a few days. I'm gonna go ahead and get this all cleaned up on the bottom, flip it over, take the fifth wheel off, clean every god darn part that it has, and paint it as well. Go through everything, make sure it's safe, DOT regulations and all that shit. Pretty happy with the way the grease is coming off. I got a little bit more work left. I started scraping that off with a scraper. I pre-soaked it with diesel. I'm going to go ahead and continue on doing that, but I stopped because I wanted to get the airbags out of the way. I wanted to get these cams out of the way. I want to get the shocks off. The more parts I can get off out of the way, the easier it is for me to get to it to where I can paint. And as well as the wire looms that holds it to the frame. Those are replaced. This guy here, I'm going to try to get that old nut off without breaking it. So I'm going to use the original studs. And I'm going to go ahead and replace the wire looms along the frame. Same on the side. This side here. Everything seems fine on here, except for this has a little bit of play. I don't think that's supposed to have none at all, but I'm going to double check. As far as that, if I have to, I'm going to take it and have somebody take care of that for me. But all the U-joints are still good. This thing here has been taken care of. The U-joints up there are still good. So I'm going to take this airbag and the 4 shocks. After I get this drum off, I want to see these wheel seals. Like I said, this spring is broke. So this is spinning. It's making me look like a liar. But it was spinning with the wheels on. Right now it's not. But I slapped it a couple times, so I think it's seized up because I'm in the process of pulling this off. So this one here, I'm going to have to go ahead and use the tool to pull the spring back. I do have it on blocks and the jack stand, and I have some wheel stops up there. I hope it's enough to keep this thing from going forward. It's pretty much a level driveway, so I don't think it's going to go anywhere. But I'm just going to take safety precautions to make sure it don't. Well, that's where I'm at, boys. So I got the last airbag off there. Got the last set of dollies off. I'm working on getting this torque arm off, and I have it jacked up all the way, so this is damn near lowered or decompressed the whole way. And I tell you what, man, these bolts holding these on both sides are pretty tight. I do plan on my battery died. I had to get another one in here. So that was all I was saying. Didn't get too much done today. I had to take a few hour break and take my daughter and get some clothes and stuff. As I was saying, this torque bar, both bolts, got these loose. I got those loose. I'm having a hard time getting these bolts to slide out, and that one on the left I have pushed. This one on the right, it's starting to move. So tomorrow I'm going to continue on with it. Tomorrow my plan is to go ahead and finish getting this torque arm out. I'm going to go ahead and get this one off too, get out of the way. When I put them back together, I'm going to get all new bolts for them. Why not? Now that I have a lot of this stuff out of my way, I'll be able to get to a couple spots where there's thick grease with a scraper. I'm going to go ahead and scrape it off, and it's going to be easier because I have it drenched with diesel, and that diesel makes it a lot easier to scrape off there. It comes off in nice clumps. So tomorrow I have a little bit more progress, and I'm doing everything by myself, so just kind of learning as I go as well. I mean, there's a lot that I do know, and there's a lot that I don't know, and there's a lot that's common sense, so I'm getting it. And plus, it's only a matter of time. You can see my yard. I didn't take that fridge in the house. It's been there for over 2 months. These aren't going to fly with the old lady. It's only a matter of time before she starts bitching about that, boys. I'm going to clear out a spot right there behind the shop there, stack them over there. I got tires up under the steps. I got tires on the side of the house. I got quads and shit everywhere, man. Like, if I was smart, I would have cleaned up and made room for the things that I knew that I would need room for, but I was pretty anxious to get started, so it is what it is. But it's getting there, man. It's getting there slowly but surely. Next step is I want to have this frame completely painted, everything, every square inch painted, and then after that I'm going to go ahead and start taking one hub at a time, checking everything, replacing, fixing everything if it needs fixed. We'll move on to the next one, and then so on. And then after this whole rear end is complete, put back together, this is going to be a project in its own. I'm not going to have that slow me down. I'm going to go ahead up front and get this engine together, because I'm going to take it to St. Clairsville, Ohio. Western Diesel is going to hook me up. They're going to go ahead and adjust the jakes for me. They're going to put it on the computer, check all that for me. But before I put it back together, I'm going to go ahead and paint some of the parts and get them sealed as well. I asked them if they would come to my house and do it. They said about $1,000. But they said if I take it to them, which is about 45-minute drive, a little under an hour, it'd be about $500. And I said, well, hell, I'll just do that. And the guy, Dan, Western Diesel, St. Clairsville, the shop manager, real nice guy, real awesome dude. And I feel like I am so much lighter. I have a lot of weight off my shoulders after I talk to him. So this stuff here, he's going to take care of. I want to do everything by myself, but it's going to be wise and smart for me to go ahead and pay somebody to do some of the work. That way I know it's done right, because I plan on making money with this truck. I don't want to break down. I know it's going to happen, but I'm going to try to make my odds a little bit better. And then I do got a buffing kit. I'm going to go ahead and get everything nice and clean, but that's later on down the road. So guys, this is what I got done for today. Today's Sunday. I don't know, is it March 14th, I believe, Sunday. So I'll get some footage for tomorrow and I'll let you guys see where I get to tomorrow. All right, guys, have a good night.